stages of the river, and we discussed about the youthful stages in which we discuss various features. Now we will do the maturity stage, and in maturity stage we will try to see what type of features are present, and the river channel becomes much wider, and the amount of water that is present within the river also increases in total, and the river channel also becomes much deeper as it was in the previous stage. इसी तरह जो एसोसिएटेड वैली होती
सर
है,
स्क्रीन नजर ही नहीं आ रही।
स्क्रीन नहीं नजर आ रही। Okay.
नो सर।
Multiple
सर ये आ
issues.
रही है।
Let me see. What is the problem?
सर मुझे तो पता नहीं आ रही स्क्रीन।
Let us see it again. अब आ रही है नजर?
नो सर।
यस सर, आ रही है नजर इधर।
सर मैं लीव करके फिर से ज्वाइन करूंगा, आप मुझे अलाउ करेंगे?
Yes, yes.
शायद।
Please. No problem. Okay. We have some issues with the screen. Okay. The main idea of these features is to let us know, like अगर आप किसी रिवर को स्टडी करना चाहते हैं तो उसके एसोसिएटेड अगर फीचर्स आपको मिलते हैं तो you can understand what type of stage that particular river is. Normally in maturity stage, most of the rivers they will form what we call as the meander. What we call as the meander. Meanders are actually the bends in the river, and you can see that many rivers.
यस सर अब आ रही है।
There are many rivers when they come to the maturity stage, they are doing the meanders. Like for example, if you want to see example of meandering river, Ravi River is the best example in Pakistan. You can see that river goes to Pakistan, then goes to India, then goes to Pakistan, then goes to India, then goes to Pakistan. So it is just like escaping on river that extends beyond the waters of both the countries. So these type of streams, they are now in the maturity stage. जैसे आपने देखा था कि youthful stage में there was a stream that was having a straight channel. Now the river has changed its channel and has become more ज़्यादा एरिया उसको मिल गया है, तो ज़्यादा एरिया मिलने की वजह से उसका जो इरोजन है वो रेट बढ़ गया है, and as a result of swirling motion of water, like the water moves in this and then moves like that and then keeps on moving, and it forms different features associated with it. And there are some features that are associated with the meandering river. The first one is the slip-off slope. There is sometimes a small beach that is found inside of a meander, and like the place on which the river is depositing the channel, and the other side from which it is eroding. अभी थोड़ी देर में I will show you the photographs, so it will be more easy to get the appreciation and understanding. Similarly, we have the river cliff. One side it is depositing and other side it is eroding. जिस side से वो erode कर रहा होगा, that side we call it as a river cliff. And you can see these features on any river that is present, and if the river is meandering and it's having sinuosity, it goes. Then sometimes we have Oxbow Lake. Oxbow Lake is something like once a river is meandering, like for example, you see this is meandering, and suddenly this area becomes larger, and this neck becomes smaller. So sometimes this river actually cuts this neck, and as a result this channel is dead. तो ये जो channel होगा जो जिसमें पहले river flow कर रहा था, maybe due to flooding or due to some activity, this river joins this, and this one becomes dead. So we call it as an oxbow lake. This is the example of the slip of slope. You can see that this is the river, cross section of a river that was meandering. Maybe you can say that we took it from here. यहाँ से अगर आप इसका cross sectional लें, so you can see that it has on one side this one is the cliff, and on this side it has some deposition of sand and gravel, and you can see the helicoidal flow in the river that causes the river to meander, and here the velocity of the channel is smaller, and here it is much faster as compared to the slower part of the channel. Here is an example of slip of slope, that is small beach. That is sometimes people go for fishing, they just go on these places and then they try to catch fish. However, the other side you can see that it is steep, and we call it as river cliff. These are some of the features, and it actually represents the cutting of the river, the eroding part of the river. This is a feature we were talking about, the Oxbow Lake. You can see that this river was like this before, and then like this. So you can say that this was the river channel, and four, and then that river channel no longer active, and you can also see the change in color. The active channel has more muddier appearance, and this one has more like algal appearance or maybe stagnant water appearance, because its connection with the main river has been cut down. So it is now more like a dead channel. We call it as an oxbow lake. Even many rivers like Ravi River, it has many oxbow lakes. Even in the city of Lahore, if you guys have listened about, there is a place called Old River Channel, or in Urdu they call it Gudda Darya. So it is like the old stage of the river that has been cut from the main channel of the river. The old stage, as humans, the rivers, they also have their ages. They have young age when they are in the mountain areas. When they become to slightly plainer areas of Punjab, they have the maturity stage, and when they go to the Sindh province, they become old stage rivers, and they become a river that is flowing over a very flat surface. So if there is no resistance in a river, it also have different features associated with it. And as it becomes flatter, erosion that it carries is actually minimum, and it's actually due to the base level and peneplain, because the when the river doesn't have anything to cut, so its velocity will automatically decrease, and then it will eventually move to the sea in the form of a delta. The river that was carrying the sediments like from higher Himalayas has some eventually less and less, and then there was some meandering in the middle, and then it becomes flat again, and then it goes to the sea. Okay, then we have sometimes the river channels, they form a delta, and they normally, जैसे ये शुरू में it forms number of channels. Similarly, when it becomes in the last stage, it also becomes having multiple channels, and the resistance to its weathering has become fixed. So here is an example of a river that was entrapped. तो इसमें हुआ ये है कि रिवर जो था वो अपनी लास्ट स्टेज में था, लेकिन जो एरिया है दैट हैज बिकम अपलिफ्ट। तो जैसे ही वो एरिया अपलिफ्ट हुआ है तो इसको हम कहते हैं इंट्रेंच मेंडर, या ऐसा मेंडर जो मेच्योरिटी स्टेज में था या ओल्ड एज में था, लेकिन जो एरिया था उससे एडजेसेंट, जैसे पहले ये यहाँ पर फ्लो कर रहा था तो वो एरिया अपलिफ्ट हो गया, लाइक ये एरिया जो है इट हैज बिकम अपलिफ्ट, सिमिलरली दिस एरिया बिकम अपलिफ्ट। तो जैसे यहाँ पर अपलिफ्ट शुरू हुई तो रिवर, बिकॉज इट हैज टू कैरी इट्स cutting, so it will cut deeper, and we call these type of channels as entrenched meanders. Then comes alluvial fan. Alluvial fan is also associated with streams, and you can see the shape of the fan. अगर आपने कभी वो चाइनीज फैन देखी हैं, जो लोग चाइनीज they just use it for it's just like an example of a fan, तो वो हाथ में पकड़ने वाला जो छोटा सा पंखा होता है बिल्कुल उसकी शेप इसी तरह की होती है, इसलिए इसको फैन कहते हैं। तो यहाँ पे क्या हुआ है, there was a river that was present here, तो उस रिवर में जो स्ट्रीम थी वो रादर माउंटेनस एरिया से प्लेन एरिया की तरफ जब आई है तो वो अपने साथ बहुत सारे सेडिमेंट्स लेकर आई है, एंड दो सेडिमेंट्स आर एक्चुअली नाउ deposited here, and those sediments now have a shape of a fan, we call it as an alluvial fan. Rejuvenation, as I said, sometimes these streams that are in maturity or old age, they can be rejuvenated as a result of the climate change. Maybe we have more water in the river, melting of glaciers, or maybe the uplift in the down side area. We can have the formation of a entrenched meander. As I said before, it is a meander, but that meander has a very deep valley. You can see it how like, yes, here is an example of an entrenched meander. Before, the river was flowing at this level, and then it become to this level, then it become to this level, then it become to this level, and finally now it is eroding to this level. You can see the stream velocity is not too much, but as the area was uplifting, so this amount of uplift has occurred in this area. And if you want to study the uplift, you can also study the uplift rate in that particular area. So that's why geomorphological studies are very important. You can understand the past climate, you can understand the past tectonics. And this river is the San Juan River in Utah, United States. And the river is actually entrapped. ये river जो है ये फंस गया है एक plateau में, और वो plateau जो है it keeps on increasing its elevation, and as a result of increase in elevation, the canyon becomes deeper and deeper. Then we have left with a few of the drainage patterns. We have 4 drainage patterns. We have dendritic, parallel, radial, and rectangular. Or streams, depending on the lithology, तो rock की depend करते हुए streams will have different type of drainage patterns. That's why remember geomorphology can help you identify different type of rocks in the field, that is the geomorphic features. They can actually guide you how to differentiate various type of rocks, various type of geological features, faulting, homogeneous rock, heterogeneous rock, and so on. The first one is dendritic. Dendritic is a stream pattern. इसमें क्या होता है कि there are more than one streams, and they look like a branching network. You can see that there are small branches that join a main channel, and it normally forms into an area where we have massive rocks like granite, and also we have the area that is having a flat slope. उसमें ज़्यादा स्लोप नहीं होती. The area is mostly flatter, and the rocks are having a strong resistance to the water, and as a result we have the formation of a dendritic drainage pattern. So this is the first type of drainage pattern. We call it as dendritic. The second type is parallel. In parallel or subparallel drainage, we have the formation of streams that are almost parallel to the main channel, like this one, almost parallel to parallel. Or normally it forms in areas where we have the rock types mostly homogeneous. Homogeneous means, for example, if there is a rock type that is all sandstone, or there is a rock type that is all shale, or if there is a rock type that is all limestone. So they form in areas where we have homogeneous rock types, and they form into parallel valleys, parallel gullies, that is parallel to the main stream, and they form on gently sloping surface. You remember, ये flat surface पे बनेंगे, and they will form on the areas where we have gentle slopes. Then comes the third one, that is the radial. And in radial, you can see that the pattern, drainage pattern, it starts from a center and it moves out from a center. तो normally जो volcanic areas होते हैं जहाँ पर volcanoes होते हैं, तो वहाँ पर इस तरह का drainage pattern होता है कि वहाँ पे main एक वाटर सोर्स है, लाइक एक कैल्ड्रा लेक है, या वहाँ पर एक वॉल्केनो था दैट हैज बीन erupted, और वहाँ पर अब एक लैक्टोस्टाइन एनवायरनमेंट है, लेक है, और उस लेक से डिफरेंट स्ट्रीम्स जो हैं वो ओरिजिनेट करके दे आर मूविंग आउट. So we call that pattern as radial pattern. Then comes the fourth one. We call it as rectangular. This is the last type. And in rectangular, we have channels that are almost having right angles to each other. You can see that this channel, and this channel, then this channel, then this channel, then this, then this, then this, and this. So they follow joints and fractures, and foliation in the metamorphic rock we call it as drainage pattern. Drainage patterns here, you can see very good illustrations. The first one is we said is the dendritic. You can see that the small streams that originate actually fall in the main stream. Similarly, this is in this area as well. Then comes the radial pattern, in which we have the main volcano in the middle, and then we have the streams coming from the center of the volcano. Then we have the rectangular, and in rectangular you have the shape follows the fracturing or jointing in the rock. It's more related to the structure geology. We call it as rectangular pattern. Then the parallel or the trellis pattern, in which due to the homogeneity or due to the presence of certain resistant rocks during the erosion part of the stream, or the streams will become more or less parallel. The conclusion for our fluvial processes and other associated features is that whether it is fluvial, aeolian, or glacial, they are very active processes and they bring changes to the morphology. So the change is shows that this planet is dynamic. And you know, fluvial processes are a major and important part of it, and they fall in terms of their energy between the glaciers and the wind. A river can have youthful maturity and old stages, and over a span of time, there are specific landforms like valleys. We have studied the type of valleys, streams, floodplain. We will study in a separate topic, and canyons, alluvial fans. These fluvial processes throw much of the light on the previous geological events. That's why we say present is the key to the past. If we study geomorphological processes today, you can actually build the story and go back into the geological time. For example, if you study something today, the present, you can relate that to the process that happened in Cambrian, in Permian, or any geological time. Well, that's all for today.